This is the Real Life Show. And now here's your host, Mark Kigozi.
Welcome to the show. This is Mark once again on this Sunday evening, 11 p.m. And I hope you're sitting there and expecting a lot. We talk about anything and everything. Repeats are on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. And we talk about things that pertain to real life. Today we want to talk about the upcoming manufacturers exhibition that happens every year there at Lugogo. And on the show tonight, we have the Executive Director of Uganda Manufacturers Association. Please welcome with me, Mr. Sebaggala. Now, Mr. Sebaggala, of course, you are of a Fumbe clan.
Sure.
And you are a Kigozi too?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you... Okay, it's the name is here. You're a Kigozi, I'm a Kigozi. And I realize that Kigozis have aspirations and ambitions. Have you had ambitions yourself in life?
Oh, sure, I have.
Tell us some of those things.
Well, the first thing when I was still in secondary school, there are some guys I used to look at then, and I said, come what may, I must be better than those guys.
Hey.
And I'm happy to say that I'm better than them.
You are better than them. Some of them.
Yes.
So you have you gone beyond your expectations?
In some areas.
In some areas, yes.
Yes, I have.
Which areas?
The business part of it.
Okay.
I was then looking at having 1, 2, 3 houses, but now when I say I have a number of them, I say I think I have made it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You are a landlord of many houses.
People say.
People say. I like that. Okay. You're a married man.
I'm a married man.
You're a married man. And
with children.
With children.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you add with children?
Yeah, because some people get married and don't get children.
Yeah.
And they are looking for them.
Okay.
But me, I'm married and I'm blessed with children.
You're blessed with children.
Yes.
If someone does not have children,
well,
is he less of a man or?
Sometimes it's an issue.
It's a big one, yeah.
Some people want, but they can't get, and you know, people have got divorces because somebody is saying you are barren, you are not this, or you are not man enough. And issues have always cropped up in families because of somebody not seeing results out of his or her marriage.
Okay, him sowing seed and it is not germinating.
Children are results of marriage.
Okay.
If you don't have them, there is a problem.
It's a problem. Okay, you are married to one wife.
So far.
So far?
Yes.
Why do you say so far?
I'm a Muslim.
Okay.
And entitled to 4, if I can.
If you can?
Yes.
Are you intending at all to have?
Not now.
Not now?
Not now.
When?
You never know. Life is still going on. I can't predict, but not now.
Don't you risk having a challenge if you have 4 wives and all of them are competing for your attention?
What's wrong with it? The more attention I get, the better. But not now.
You said before that when you marry 4, you help the nation.
Yes, sometimes, you know, I think Islam was good to say 2. They didn't actually say 1. They said 2, 3, 4, or 1.
Hey.
Yes.
So 1 was the last resort.
For those who are
weak.
Basically, in inverted commas.
Weak.
Yes. Not weak in terms of manhood, but weak in terms of ability to look after them.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay. All right. For me, I have 1.
So far.
No, not so far. And that is the only one I have.
Okay. That's good.
Because I'm a Christian and I believe in 1.
That's lovely.
Okay. Now, you are part of the Uganda Manufacturers Association.
Sure.
What's the association about?
Well, the association is brings all manufacturers and industries together from all walks of life in this country. And basically the idea is advocacy. you know, as manufacturers, we've got many issues down there on the ground. Issues to do with tariffs, power, water, you know, taxes, etc. And it wouldn't be proper for each individual, each manufacturer to run to government to say taxes are too much. Another one comes up and says the roads are not good. Another one comes and say water is not flowing in our area of, you know, operation and those and so on. So we agreed in principle that we get together, we echo our issues as a team, and then we present them to government for consideration as a team rather than individuals. And then on the other hand, government cannot come to you alone, me and the other person individually. They bring issues, we discuss with them as secretariat, they bring issues to us, and then we disseminate to the members accordingly.
What have been your achievements so far?
As an AD, as an association?
An association.
Oh, quite many. Achievements have been, you know, growing in number since inception. You remember in the first place in the 80s, 88, 89, 90, for instance, we didn't have the showgrounds, the ones we have in Logogo now. In 92, we achieved that by getting our own grounds instead of having floats on independence and people show what they do. But now we've got a ground where we can put all products together.
But who can access those grounds? Because some of the small manufacturers of chapati and you know, those chikomandos cannot access those.
They are not manufacturers.
What are they?
They are cooks.
Who is a manufacturer then?
A manufacturer is that who comes with that raw material that chapati man uses to prepare that chapati.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when I make a chapati, I've not manufactured.
You are not manufacturing. You are preparing.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me, this you have had these trade fairs for quite a bit of time.
Sure.
This is going to be the 24th?
The 22nd.
22nd. What have you achieved? Because we notice most of the exhibitors there are either from out of the country, or they are Indians, but it's very hard to really find a naturalized Ugandan.
They are there, and there are many. Actually, as a matter of fact, 75% of exhibitors are Ugandans.
Sure.
Sure. We register maximum 1,250 exhibitors. 795 are Ugandans. The rest are from outside.
Wow.
The only difference is that they vary in terms of category. They are locals here.
Okay. Well, what kind of things are manufactured here?
Quite many, in all departments. In plastics we are there, in textiles we are there, in beverages we are there, in foods we are there, in soaps we are there, in oils we are there, in steel we are there, in paper we are there, a number of them. There are many. Almost all things we use normally are manufactured here, except that quantities differ. That's where the
quantities differ. But is our quality good? Because, you know, Ugandans have not yet learned to appreciate Ugandan. Because there's lots of things coming from Taiwan, coming from China, and so on. And they seem to, one, have better quality, but also they are cheaper.
I've heard people complaining all along. I don't want to talk about, I wouldn't have loved to talk about it, but let me say it. Oh, China, that one is from China. China is now synonymous with poor fake products, quality, like my colleague says.
Yes.
But I haven't heard anybody saying Ugandan, 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 meaning that our products are qualitative. Yes, I haven't heard anybody saying Ugandan.
You have not heard anyone saying?
I have not heard one. But it's China,
you are going to hear them very soon.
Taiwan, China, Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yep. Though, much as we say it, we must be very careful as to how we say it.
Yes.
Maybe at an appropriate time I will explain why people should not say it unless you're supposed
say
to
what?
say it. You know, somebody might say fake, fake, fake,
hey,
and you condemn a certain country producing it.
Yes.
When in the true sense you are the problem, not the country producing it.
What do you mean?
You know, when you say that is a fake thing, from where? China, like people say. Who goes to China to bring it?
Not the Chinese.
Have you seen an advert on NBS Chinese telling you to go and buy things from China?
No.
They haven't. It is you who wakes up in the morning, board a plane, and you go and look, amongst all other things, you look for the cheapest, and you bring back here by your own or on your own, without them forcing you to bring them. But there are those which are qualitative and which are for this market. Unfortunately, people don't differentiate between what is for which market and for what reason. As a matter of fact, many of the things they bring here are not supposed to be for export. They are for local consumption.
Down there?
Down there, not for here. But because they are cheap.
So how does that come in? Because we have a National Bureau of Standards.
Well, I wouldn't want to go into their issues.
But you can.
But they are supposed to make sure that whatever comes in here meets the standards of our people here and the international standards, ISO and so on. It's unfortunate that they don't have enough capacity to look at every product.
Is it lack of capacity or corruption?
Capacity, I should say.
Of course you have to say capacity because you know you are on national TV.
No, you know, it's very dangerous to commit yourself to something you haven't seen yourself.
Yeah.
I haven't caught any, so I can't commit myself and say so and so is corrupt. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
But I know, of course, some people are there in one way or another. They might be there. But capacity is very important.
Okay.
You know, we consume a lot, many products here, many consumables and etc. Getting capacity to test for every item we use under normal circumstances in our lives is not very easy. We need, sophisticated equipment, gadgets, etc., which as Ugandans have not achieved yet. Yeah, that is one of the challenges.
Okay. On the last show, I had the minister, if for lack of better word, maybe I did it. He was the Minister of Investment in the office of the President. And I referred him to a situation I faced when I went down to Matuga. And there was this lady who had grown her tomatoes and they were rotting. She did not have transport to get them to the markets, either in Kampala or elsewhere. But when you look at those mountains of tomatoes that are rotting, you could easily turn them into tomato sauce or something else. Is the Manufacturers Association also in the business of trying to stimulate that kind of business here so that we could manufacture our own and help people like this?
Yeah, that's one of our roles. Sweet talking you and the audience and those who are not here to join us and start, taking care of those kind of tomatoes or any mangoes or anything to that effect. And add value to them and eventually come up with some good products which can last instead of rotting in baskets along the road.
Do you provide the capital?
No, we don't necessarily provide capital, but we give wisdom.
Hey.
Yes.
But that lady may not need wisdom. She may need the capital itself.
No, she may not necessarily need the capital to manufacture because she might not make it. But she needs appreciating the fact that there is Kigozi somewhere who can take his tomatoes and transform them into tomato sauce or any other product to that effect.
So you connect those two?
Yes, maybe we could try to reach them and buy those tomatoes, mangoes, etc. from them. Because, the one you might have seen somewhere in Matuga might be having an acre of tomatoes, which might not be worth making a factory at his home. But if we get some from Matuga, from another place, and put them together in one factory or two factories in the whole country, eventually we shall have enough supply of raw material through tomatoes and other issues of that, to that effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. It also can create employment for certain. These young people here,
Sure.
Now some of them have ideas and they would like to become industrialists or manufacturers. How does the association help them?
The association, I don't want to say sensitizing, but it teaches people on how to start. We've got a full department that goes out to, looking at a different, certain locality and assess the advantages of that place. What is growing, for example, on the agriculture side, in that area most. And we tell them, since you are fond of tomatoes in the whole of this area, what have you done about transforming or adding value to the same tomatoes? Why don't you do ABCD? Instead of transporting two, 3 baskets from so many miles away to our company in Kampala or in Tinda, why don't you have a startup, you do the first part of the transformation or value addition, then that other big company comes and takes this as a raw material and adds value to it in order to get a final product. So we do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. So how can you be reached? Because, people do not see where to go. Should they go to the office of the minister in charge of investment? Where do they find you? And should they come as cooperative societies or Ujamaa villages, those kinds of communist things? What should they do?
As in to reach us in UMA? Or?
To reach you so that they can be helped.
We have a headquarters, like you're aware. Our headquarters are in Lugogo, Nakawa. He who has got an issue to do with industry or manufacturing is free to approach us, and we, direct him accordingly. Or we, guide him accordingly.
So they need to come with proposals?
Yes. Not only proposals, even before you generate one, you come over. It's better to come over and we tell you where the gaps rather than coming up with something that might not make sense to you.
You advise where it would be best to invest.
Rather than,
Well, at this point, let me ask you the question. What is the area that seems to be, lacking, where someone would invest and get some good return?
Almost all.
You have not helped me.
Apart from beverages, drinks, and steel and sugar.
Yes.
The rest of the products, we don't have enough in this country, and for the region at that.
Hey.
No.
Okay. Give us some very, food.
Now look, when you go to the market, how many types of juices have you seen? Very few. How many people are tinning food here, or beef or meat or whatever?
Doing what? Tinning it?
0. But we have cows, cattle everywhere, every corner. But we don't tin meat here. If it doesn't sell on Yomudala somewhere.
But you see, right here you can't tin meat because people just cut their goats and eat them live. Who is going to go?
What about that which they don't buy? Where does it go?
I've not heard of anyone throwing away meat.
No,
because
you go to where they sell the meat. You think all the meat put on those things is sold that day? No. There is that which remains. And at the end of the day, it rots, or it is simply thrown away. They don't tell you, but they do it. So instead of throwing it away, you would tin it or add value to it, and take it to another step or level at that.
Hey, that's
sure.
a good area to invest.
Now you've talked about tomatoes. How many tomato factories, ketchup factories do you have? We have only one in the whole country.
Called Top Up.
And that's it. But you are saying in Matuga people are crying with their tomatoes. Is it a crime to have one in Fort Portal and another one in the eastern?
But who eats that Top Up thing? Is it Ugandans or?
You yourself and the people here. You do. Ugandans do. How many foreigners do you have in this country? Negligible. The number is negligible. The rest is eaten by ourselves. Children these days can't do without tomatoes or ketchup or something like that. They can't, including yours, I believe.
Oh, okay. Any other areas now?
Yeah, textile.
Textile.
We are lacking cotton now. We are bringing in yarn from outside. The cotton is not there. That's why we are not putting on 100% cotton clothes, because they're not there. That's why we are importing so many clothes, so many types of clothes here. Because the cotton from which we would have made the fabric and eventually clothes is not there. That's why we're bringing them in plenty. In those years when we were still young, we used to go to night or ginger.
Yes.
People would buy their shirts of different types. But now, where are they? There is no cotton. Let people go to textile.
But there is also this Ndibota thing. where people get designer clothes, orders there. Some of them are even better quality
they
than
have their
some of
issues
this.
also. Actually, they don't buy them because they want. It's because they have no capacity to buy better ones, I'm sorry to say. It's not out of interest. But somebody has no choice because he can't afford one like yours, and then he ends up going for that one. Otherwise, we wouldn't allow them here. Why should we?
So if I come up with a proposal in this area, and I look at the machinery and so on and so forth, put it together, it's a lot of money.
It is.
To really put that together.
Sure.
Where can I get the funding for that? Or you will just give me the advice and then leave me to die with the idea there?
Funding is it can be gotten from different angles in different ways. You can't start from zero, as a matter of fact. You can't go to a bank and you think you are at zero and people will give you money as a loan. You must have intandikwa, as it is normally called. You must have put some money somewhere to start up with so that others can, come up to your rescue, add on something, or go to the bank and get a loan, and then put the equipment on the ground, and then continue. But not from zero.
It can't be.
It's not enough to have a proposal.
But where will these young people get the money? They're right from school. They have the ideas. They want to make money.
Their ideas are not theirs. They are for us.
Say that again.
Their ideas now are not theirs. They are for those who have the capacity to transform those ideas into products.
Yes.
Yes.
So the ones who have money
will buy out those proposals from them,
okay,
and invest from their proposals and transform it into reality.
So now the only thing they can do is to manufacture ideas.
As much as possible.
Well, this is a real life talk show. Don't go away. Welcome back to the show. And we are talking about manufacturing. And this first week of October, we are going to have the trade fair.
Sure.
The 22nd one. And we have been reliably told that most of those guys out there, the biggest percentage are Ugandans, though we don't see their products. We see Chinese and Taiwanese things. Anyway, Mr. Sebaggala will tell us more about that. We want to hear your views on manufacturing and industrialization and all these other things that we're talking about. Well, let's start there.
Well, I'm called Robina Ronita, and then I want to ask you, Mr. Sebaggala, as the director of the Uganda Manufacturers Association, is there any way you can help the upcoming manufacturers, leaving alone giving them funds, advices, but then, let me say, bringing them up, putting them on market, and advising them more about whatever they produce? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sebaggala. My issue is maybe one. Mr. Sebaggala, maybe manufacturing may not be enough, but maybe also presentation of our products and even marketing. The reason why maybe Pastor is saying that we don't see Ugandan products on market, maybe they are not packaged very well that they attract people's attention, maybe to support them. And even maybe the market for Ugandans maybe is not all that good or looking for market. I'm asking, is there any way you educate these people the way to package their things? Because we have that tendency of saying things in the UK, things from America.
Yeah.
And they look nice, so they are fancy. I'd rather buy that one. Is there any way you teach these people to present the way of branding and presenting their products, and then also getting them market? Thank you.
My name is Osei Patrick. I'm going to be brief. Unfortunately, I happen to be a machine fitter. So basically, we do handle spare parts, different things for industry. But I've discovered one thing about Ugandans, that for us Ugandans, we are consumers. Yeah. We are not manufacturers. You find someone has got 20 hectares of land, says, this side I'll grow matoke for my family, part of it I'll sell it. But where is the manufacturing? We have the ability to manufacture, pack and everything, because first of all, we have the best climate. That is the first thing. But the problem is people's attitude is totally negative. So that leads us to decline in terms of manufacturing. But however, we have the best ideas, we have the best people in the government who can support young people like us, but the problem is attitude. Thank you.
I'm Segawa David. You have talked about the exhibition that always take place at Lugogo. But when I visit those places, I find items from China. You find what? Clay plates, basins, generators with the words Yamaha. So they come from Japan. And you find Ugandans who are exhibiting those products. So meaning they import them from China, then they take them to Lugogo and invite people to come and see what is that is what is found at Lugogo. Now, another thing I want to talk about, those things of low quality, like the phones, the clothes, and what that you put on, and within a short period of time you find them, they cannot work anymore. They import them when we have the UNBS. But there are some items which you can read on you and you find the word strictly for what? For exportation. And I think those countries which manufacture those products are targeting weak countries with no strong rules and regulations on their importation and exportation. But you allow them to come here and we use them. Yet we have, you may find...
Are they of poor quality?
Yeah, they are of poor quality because one time I bought a soap from a shop. There was a word strictly for exportation, meaning it is illegal to be used in the country where it is manufactured from. That is what I interpret.
So they were saving their people from that poor product.
Countries, either countries of low standards of living or countries with capacity to produce what they can use. So you will give us more elaboration on that.
Pastor Mark, ngatogera ku byamakolero Pastor Mark. Ngatuke okubera n'olunaku olw'abaana makolero. Nebaza nnyo omukulu executive director okubanga osobola okuleeta amakampani okuva ebweru ne bajja tubeeko naffe tubeeko bye tuyiga. Kuba tusuubira nti omukolo ogwo oba okwerosa okwo bakwita kwoloswa si kwa bannayuganda bokka. Nsuubira nti kwa bantu bonna okumanya bye batamanyi. So omuntu ava mu kyalo agenda kujja alabe ayige. Ajja kuyiga engeri y'akantu balina akatiba kasala ennyanya, ajja kuyigamu bingi. So twebaza nnyo omukulu ono executive director olw'omulimu gw'okola ogwo era Mukama Katonda akuwe byonna by'osinga okwagala. Ekirala kye ŋŋendako Pastor Mark, abavubuka tetwagala kukola. Abavubuka basinga obungi tumalira obudde bwaffe mu byobufuzi Pastor Mark. Ne twirabira nti abasinga obungi famire zaffe ze tuvaamu mbi nnyo, nzibu nnyo. Abasinga tulina amataka mangi Pastor Mark mu kyalo. Naye we don't know how to use them. Tujja kujja mu kibuga tugambe nti government terina kyetuyambye Pastor Mark. Naye government eneekuyamba kyenkana ki nga gw'olina ettaka ewuwo tosobola nalikozesa. Tomanyi ngeri gye balimamu Pastor Mark. Emmere yonna gye baleeta mu kibuga balima nnime. Abavubuka bana ba real life bonna bolaba Pastor Mark balina ewaabwe mu kyalo. Abasinga ebyalo byabwe birina mu kibuga mu Kampala oba mu Kampala. Abamu bava mu Kono. Naye tebasobola kugenda ku weekend ne bakola ki? Ne bagamba kannime tomato. Kubanga ennyanya Pastor Mark zo ziri expensive. Ojja zireeta mu katale bajja zigula katasa bajja kagula omutwalo. Nkubuulira nga nva nsinzira ku wino kuba nze Pablo Bashir from Pablo Grocery. I have a grocery. Manya buli kimu era ebisinga obungi ow'ekitiibwa natandise okubyerimira. Era ow'ekitiibwa akimanyi grocery yange agimanyi era be bamu ku bagikozesa. So nsaba abavubuka to spending time nga tukola ebintu ebitugasa. Tuleme okwogera necessary thing ebitatugasa. N'ekirala abavubuka tulina time gye tutakozesa. Pastor Mark, we have 24 hours every person. But how they use their time, it is different. It's your time to make you rich or to make you poor or to make you a beggar. So 24 hours. Some of us, we use 8 hours to be at work, 8 hours to sleep. So ask yourself, the 8 hours is ku 24 ozikozesa ki? Wano omanya okumanya ky'ozikozesa kitegeeza nti awo either ogenda ku becoming rich oba ogenda ku becoming poor. So reflect yourself. Oba oyagala okubeera nga omukulu Sebaggala kyali kyonna akikoleredde, naawe kennyini olina okukola ki? Olina okikolerera. Thank you very much, Pastor Mark.
Thank you, Pastor Mark, and our viewers and the audience here. So me, my concern is about Uganda as the part of Africa. I understand we have a giant economy like Kenya. Kenya is a giant economy here in East Africa so far, but we have, unfortunately, we have had many wars in Uganda, and therefore, in industrialization, we have lagged behind. But again, we have a disadvantage somehow that we are a landlocked country. Now, the Uganda Manufacturers Association is headed by you. What is your strategy that you are making to make Uganda back on top? As we have, in fact, even the category here in Uganda saying we are taking Uganda ahead, on top. So what is your strategy? What is your strategy to make Uganda back at the part of Africa? And do you also have trade shows in the neighboring countries like this one that is going to happen in October here in Uganda? Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Nze ekibuuzo ekyange kyembuuza, tulina abakyala abalina ebibiina byabwe mu byalo eyo, bakola emisu, bawa sabbuuni, obuntuntu obutonotono. Mukoze mutya okusitula omutindo gwabwe okulaba nti nabo bajja erugo?
Thank you, Pastor Mark, and our guest. My question is one, I would like to know how the youth of today can benefit from his idea. If he had an idea and wanted to sell it, would it really earn him what he thinks he would get? Because very many people are holding on to the ideas and they end up dying with the ideas.
Sure.
So, if it could be known that someone can sell an idea and it pushes him from where he is to somewhere, I think it would contribute a lot to you people who have the money and you don't have ideas, and who have ideas and don't have the money. Then, have you also put in place a system where actually someone can sell a business? Because in other countries, it is very easy for you to sell. You just go somewhere and they market your business. I start a business and it doesn't work for me, maybe because of financial management or other things.
And someone buys it.
Someone buys it. So, do you have that department that handles selling those businesses so that someone can sell it off if he feels it's not working for you? Thank you.
First of all, I would like to disprove Mr. Pablo. One, he has talked about us being the villages where we can grow things. One, with this Kampala where people are born in a muzigo, and you are in a muzigo at this age, one, you might be renting, but hustling to get the what? The rent. You have no way, we have no villages at this time. You find that, you
have no village.
Exactly. The villages which are in Wakiso do not even have an acre of land. It is a half an acre. The mom is there, the dad is there, the grandparent is there. How can you dig? Okay, let me put that aside.
What percentage of young people come from the city without villages?
According to the statistics, it's like 60% of the Uganda population are youth. Which statistics?
And how many of them are in the village? How many of them are in the city?
In the villages, trust me, people are living in the villages because there is nothing now still in the villages. One, the rich people come from here, Kampala, and just grab people's lands. People still have no villages to grow things. I want to know, Mr. Kigozi, who is a manufacturer? If I come to buy my chemicals and mix my juice, am I a manufacturer? So another thing, why is it that the imported commodities are more cheaper than?
I would like to applaud Pastor for this opportunity. But before I ask the question I have to ask, I would like to blame our elders at least a little bit, because we that used to be grown up from the urban life, and we do not have people who encourage us to go back to the villages that there is land. That is one thing, and that is why he is quarreling that because They are here hustling with life, but there are no people who are there to do what? To encourage them go back and do what? And dig. They are not there. And I would like to ask the guests we have today, how do you coordinate with the students who are in institutes? Because we look at this percentage that these guys who are in institutes, at least they create practical ideas. How do you coordinate with them to say that at least you exhibit their what?
Their ideas.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Sebaggala is going to respond because we have very little time left, and he has an awesome task of responding to that. Over to you, Mr. Sebaggala.
Thank you, Kigozi. I want to start off from where somebody said the youth are calling for almost 60+%. And as far as our population is concerned, that is true. Actually, more than 60%.
More than 60, yeah.
But that is not a ticket for them to say that they should not be ambitious to work, but wait to be advised all the time. There are those who are not fortunate to have people to advise them.
True.
They are not going to die because they don't have advisors. They will have to take it upon themselves to look for that wisdom from whoever and wherever it is.
Yeah.
Not everybody is lucky to have somebody to guide him.
That's true.
2, much as they are 60% or plus, those in urban centers are less than 20%.
Aye.
The 80% is in outside the city. Those in Kampala are fewer than those who are
in the rural
villages.
areas. Yeah.
That is statistically this is saying like that. So those who don't have where to grow things like somebody here in around Kampala are very few. The majority are in.
So this trade fair is only reaching very few people, 20%. What happens to the 80% that are in the rural
We do what
area?
we call regional trade fairs.
Hey.
We take trade fairs to regions, the north, eastern, and western in the year. So to give them a chance also to see what we do and get appetized to or excited to do what we do.
Okay.
Who is a manufacturer? A manufacturer is that who transforms that thing from either the primary level, the intermediate level, into another thing, using different equipment or other gadgets to transform it from one level to another. For as long as that is transforming, it's not a final product. Here we've got what we call primary manufacturing and intermediary. There are those who start from scratch. You get your tomatoes from Matuga, you start squeezing them there and then until you get ketchup out of them. That is a primary manufacturer. But there are those who bring semi-finished things, then add on value to finish them at the end of the day.
Okay.
That is intermediary. So depends. Somebody was asking that we see NBS in the show, we see WBS, we see
what are they manufacturing?
They are not manufacturing.
Hey, what are they doing?
They are helping those who are not in the show to know what is going on in the show. Yes, otherwise if you are not
they also have a store.
Yes, because if you don't have a base, how would you operate? You must have a base in order to move to different stalls rather than moving randomly in the whole show. You must have a base and then start disseminating info to those who are not, like I'm doing now. If NBS was not there, how would those others see that there is something going on?
Yeah.
So they need to be there too. We in the association, remember it's an association, we have 15% non-direct manufacturers but service providers. Because we can't make our money and keep it in under our pillows. We need to bank it, we need to insure it, we need to transport it. So those other variables come into play also in order to move at the same pace. Strategies, we do have strategies, we do have plans and programs of helping those who have ideas. But we don't look for you because we may not know you have the ideas. It's you who has the idea to come to us and say, I want to do ABCD, and we guide you according to that idea. Sometimes you may not be in position to have the capital to implement or to effect the idea. Then we can say, if you cannot make it, why don't you sell the idea if it is worth buying? And somebody who can, take it on, they'll
buy it from you.
They buy it. It's your right.
Are you sure it can be bought? Because these days there is also a theft.
Yes. Theft is there, but they buy. You mean you, the brainchild, you must know how to package your thing so that somebody cannot plagiarize it. somebody was saying others don't have they have the ideas, and then those without ideas buy them. I want to assure the audience that there is no manufacturer who has no ideas, and there is no manufacturer who is not sharp. Putting up a factory is not something very easy, and it's not something that brings back money in one day or even a year. It takes years, so somebody must have sat down, make a proper feasibility study, program, and go into it.
Okay.
It's a lifelong thing. You might actually die without getting a profit
if
you start it at a late age.
Okay.
Yes.
What is a late age?
Maybe 50 plus or 45 and above.
You're already expired.
Exactly.
Okay, what are we expecting
so
in
if
the
you
first
want to,
week?
if you want to start, you better start at an early age so that you enjoy the dividends at the end of the day. Otherwise, if you start at 50, you will only leave it to your grandchildren and children.
Okay, now Mr. Sebaggala, we are just concluding right now. What are we expecting
in
the
trade
fair?
fair?
What are the dates?
2nd to 10th October. That is next week, Thursday to 10th October.
What are we expecting?
We are expecting all sorts of products, both locally manufactured and internationally manufactured. This is an international trade fair.
And you said there are about 1,250 exhibitors.
Out of that, 70% are locals, 25% are international exhibitors.
Wow.
For different products.
Okay.
But that does not mean that we don't exhibit similar products. He may be producing it and I may be producing it. It is the reason as to why we exhibit or showcase, so that you come and compare. Where we don't do it to your perfection, you say, this one is lacking. Or if it is better, you continue buying it.
Okay. So who is expected to come?
Every one of you, everybody is supposed to come to the show. There are 3 or 4 things to get there. 1, to see what we do, to give us wisdom, tell us where we are not perfect as manufacturers. 3, to get excited, you yourself. What can you copy from those or learn from those that you can start on your own?
Wow.
And 4, to enjoy.
To enjoy. Well, many times I go to these trade fairs and what I eat is ice cream.
Great.
And mochomo on the other side. And then I look at the rest. But this time I think I'm going to get an idea. I hope I'm going to find someone who will also buy some of my ideas. Now, I also want to go there and have a stall and exhibit myself. I'm a speaker. I do all kinds of marriage counseling. I've opened up a life center. Can I also come and exhibit that?
Why not?
Is that a manufacturer also?
No, we said 15% service providers.
Okay.
In the association. That slot is there for them.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the audience.
But maybe before you conclude, one thing
is
that let everybody come, first of all.
Yes.
But people must take the slogan, buy Uganda, build Uganda. Buy your own first in order to.
So you are trying to decampaign the other ones by promoting your own.
You must buy your own first. Yours first before others come in.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the audience. Thank you so much, Mr. Sebaggala. See you next time on the Real Life Talk Show. Bye-bye.